But getting kind of more technical, like how would you go about learning phrasal verbs or idiomatic expressions? Like what was your strategy or what is your strategy? How do you learn such a thing?
Um, Actually, like I feel like a lot of people think it's so hard and difficult to learn phrasal verbs and
Oh,
idioms, but I don't think so. I think it's not that hard really. Like all you need to know is if you want to just start with something simple, you should just go on YouTube and watch a bunch of English speaking YouTubers and just notice what phrasal verbs they use every single day because they're gonna use a lot of them. It's
hmm,
gonna be a lot of phrasal verbs, and this is something you should start from because phrasal verbs like wake up, it is a phrasal verb, right? But they're gonna use it almost in like every single video, right?
uh-huh.
So and if you want to learn something more complicated, obviously there are a lot of books that teach phrasal verbs and idioms. But unfortunately, what I found is that there are a lot of phrasal verbs that people don't use nowadays, but they're still in those books, especially with idioms.
Uh-huh.
Maybe with phrasal verbs it's still okay, but with idioms, there are going to be like so many weird idioms that, yeah, native speakers know them, but they will probably never ever use them.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I have a student from Russia actually, and one of the activities we do is that she's constantly reading, listening, and she's always taking notes, and she wants to know like to what extent this is used or if it's
Yeah.
used at all. And I always have to tell her, oh no, don't say that. Like that sounds like, like like a some I don't know, my aunts would say that, or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
this is something that maybe like a guy who's like 70 from this
Hmm.
specific region that would say that, or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's a super interesting thing as well to kind of like
Mhm.
weed through the language you should and shouldn't be using.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's why it's so interesting to talk to native speakers about idioms or like phrasal verbs because they are the people who actually know like if you should use them, if they're all right, if like maybe you shouldn't say them, yeah, you shouldn't use them. Yeah.
Right. One of the things I feel really proud of myself as a teacher sometimes when like my students give me like 4 or 5 things that are so like close together, like super close together. I could see why they did think like what the heck, and then I had to like kind of like analyze it so much and distinguish them.
Yeah.
That's like when I feel proud of myself as a teacher. Like, oh yes, I'm earning my money over here, doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and in your experience, what percentage of English learners are actually afraid to speak? How prevalent do you think that this phenomenon is?